Hey, good morning. It's Friday, and hope you're having a great one, a great kickoff. Maybe you have the day off, stay home with the kiddos, invite some friends over, have an incredible kickoff to your weekend. Glad to have you with me this morning. The Real Monica Adams podcast brought to you by my friends at Invita Health and Wellness. It's the mobile Monica version, live from Kirkwood. The girls just left. We had an incredible start to their morning. Just got done doing some really great core work, did some biceps and triceps. They already have that done and feel so accomplished before they get off to their morning. Have you worked out already? If not, are you just getting up and thinking maybe I'll get off to the gym? Maybe today is the day I'll start really moving. I hope so. Some type of movement. That's what you want. Happy Friday, Kathy. Hope we see you tomorrow morning. By the way, our Thursday night life coaching class, our Saturday morning class, and a brand new boxing class are open to you. So take advantage of it. If you've been just sitting around thinking, maybe today's the day, maybe it's Monday, maybe next week, why put it off? Again, you're not promised the next day. So why don't you just start that today, your intention today to do what you want to do to make yourself happy, more empowered, to get moving more, to feel more energetic, to do the things that you want to do for yourself and with your loved ones, your family, your friends, etc. Let me know, what plans do you have for the weekend? We have a pretty relaxing one, which is nice. I'm going to go see some friends of mine tonight that I haven't seen in a long time. If you want to see some really great music, Greg Warzel and his sister Liz, they don't get a chance to perform much in public any longer. And when they do, you want to hop on it. This woman, Liz, is one of the most phenomenal singers I've ever heard here locally. She could be a recording artist. She's so beautiful. Beautiful on the inside and out, but her voice is just angelic. And then her brother, Greg, also incredible voice, but one of the most amazing musicians I've ever seen. They're playing tonight, by the way, in Wildwood. So reach out to me if you want to come out and say hi and you want to see a really great band. That's what we're going to do tonight in the Wildwood area. Class tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. If you're saying, hey, I want to start, it's time for me to work out and lose weight, men and women both. Kids, I've trained from 10 a.m., 10 years old up to 95 years old. I don't care the age. I'm not going to treat you by your age. I'm going to take you to your goals and do everything that you can possibly do. And again, if you have to sit out around, you sit out around, but let's do this together. Monday night, I just kicked off a new boxing class, and it's one of my favorite classes to teach because it really empowers men and women both. But I love when women get the opportunity to go through the motions and then realize that they can do this. It's really fun to watch. We had a really great kickoff this past Monday. So Monday nights, Saturday mornings, Thursday night life coaching classes, those are all things that are open to you. At some point, I'm going to have to cap it, but then we'll put you on a wait list, just like we do here. We had a full class this morning. We had a wait list that I think a few weeks ago, there were a few openings, and now it's back on maxed out on a Friday. So yeah, Kirkwood, Wednesdays and Friday mornings. That's just kind of an idea. Some people are asking if I'm taking on some new clients. Just depends on the day. Just depends on where we're training. So let's see. Let's do a little mental health check. I said hi to Kathy. Linda, good morning. Happy Friday. Good morning. Michelle is up and talking about our title sponsor. Yes, if you'd like to be a part of it. I had a gentleman reach out to me yesterday and said, I'm interested in being a sponsor on the show. Send me the information. And I did just that. So she just sent you the email in the comments so that you can reach out and see if you or someone you know wants to be a part of it. And that's the thing. I had one of my friends, Carl, he said, I want to get you some more sponsors. And I said, that's what we're looking for so we can continue this content. Good morning. Have a great weekend. Good morning. Happy Friday. Good morning. Have to be at work extra early today. Have a good weekend. Great to see your positive face. Working tomorrow, off Sunday, chilling all day. Carrie, I hope you don't miss it. If not, you'll have to come back because I've got something for all of you. Remember, we did the 30-day scratch off challenge. Well, look, it still has the tissue paper on it. We're going to do 100 things to do for well-being. 100 things to do for well-being. We're going to start this with you all this morning. So now we've got some exciting things to do. Speaking of our 100 days to freedom from multiple things, those are in the studio. And then when I'm mobile, I'm sprinkling in some other things. So we're going to be together for a while. Just plan on it. Good morning. Julie says, what time and where is the boxing class on Monday? Sarah, reach out to me. Michelle put my email address on there. In fact, I'll do this for you. I will put it up on the screen so you have my email. Boom, right there. Ask and you shall receive. That says if you'd like to be a sponsor or know somebody that would, there's my email address. But there's the email address for any questions you have. Shoot me an email. I'll let you know the time and where. Good Friday morning. Orlando. Good morning, Monica and folks. Leona, have a commitment tomorrow morning. Oh, okay. Well, always make sure you reach out because I might switch it up. I might not have it on a Saturday. Every once in a while, I might have it on a Sunday. I might have it at different locations. Do a little field trip fitness. Good morning, Janet. Good morning, Pamela. Michelle, we still have our out of town guest from New Hampshire and Florida, hockey billet kid coming up from Missouri State, smoking ribs and salmon. Salmon. Tomorrow hitting shack breakfast and lunch. All right, that's what she's got planned for tomorrow. Good morning. Have a busy weekend ahead, but it's all with friends and family, and that's blessings, right? I had a really amazing class last night, by the way. That class, great, a new poster, love it. I thought you would, Carrie. So if you have to head off, by the way, let's go ahead and do it. And if you all aren't doing this already, how many times has Monica told you to start a journal? That is day one of 100 things to do for well-being. Start a journal. There you go. So I already did it for you. So any of you that have to sign off and come back later and finish the rest of the show, you know what day one is of 100 things to do for well-being. And we'll pick up and do day two on Monday. We get to keep our first granddaughter for the first sleepover. Oh, that sounds awesome. So really what you're doing again is creating time together, right? The memories that you create together. That's the most important thing that I want you to do. I just want to give you a little recap from yesterday. If you didn't know, my mom and I came on about 1:30 yesterday afternoon from the pool. It was so much fun. We had a great time. And if you didn't see that one, it's only about 15 minutes. It was just the way I was checking in since we weren't live yesterday. How many of you had a chance to see yesterday's show with Todd Michaels? It was a continuation of the friendship talk that we did a couple weeks ago. People were asking about, good morning, Sandra. Carrie, the topic of the day, if you haven't seen, it's typed in here, but it is paying it forward. Today is paying it forward, and we'll get to that in a handful of minutes. What was I saying? Sorry. Yesterday. Yes. So my mom and I checked in. I want to know how many of you had a chance to see yesterday's show. So sometimes I will have recorded shows that will drop in, and then I'll pop in for you live a little bit later on like we did. But I want to know what your takeaway was from that. Did you enjoy that? It was a nice little sit down that we did at the Ritz-Carlton. Did you enjoy the message? Did you enjoy seeing someone that had been in my life for the last 20 years and, the give and take? You saw him, tear up a little bit when he talked about his mom and what it means to have someone that's a friend that feels like family. And then their family becomes your extended family. Their friends become your friends. There were a lot of things that we discussed on that. So let me know if you enjoyed that. Love having you with us a couple times. But I was mentioning that there was a lot of content. I'm going to sneeze, I think. Hold on. Yeah. Woo, sorry. There was a lot of content that dropped yesterday morning and afternoon, by the way. 7 a.m. we had the Friends Talk. At 8 a.m. on the audio podcast platforms, we had bullying. And then yesterday afternoon, 2 new shows dropped on YouTube, which is why you want to follow my YouTube channel. And that had to do with codependency as well as caregiving and making the difficult decisions as a caregiver that maybe you can't go at it on your own and you have to make the decision to put a loved one into skilled nursing or a nursing home, etc. So 4 pieces of content that if you didn't get a chance to see, that I want you to get an opportunity to go back to Facebook, YouTube, and all the audio podcast platforms. And little by little, these shows that you see, some of my favorites, some of my team's favorites, we take those and we put them on the audio podcast platform. That, by the way, drops only on Thursdays, once a week. Good show with Todd. Glad you have such a great friend. Thanks, Linda. Good morning, Dana. Michelle said the archived Facebook shows are dropping weekly on Thursday afternoons. Absolutely. God bless you, Linda. Streaming, yes. Good morning, Monica. Happy Friday. Hi, Marilyn. So today, here's what I want you to think about, okay? I'm going to take a quick break. Yes, what a sweet friendship. You can see how much you both love each other. Yes, we do. He is absolutely one of my best friends. As I mentioned, I am very blessed with a handful of best friends, and then obviously just a ton of other great friends that are around me. We're going to take a quick break, and when I come back, I want you to stay with us and think about what it means to pay it forward. Great interview with Todd. Love the memory. Saw the swimming pool clip with you and Miss Jackie. Yeah, we had some fun, right? We had a really good time. I want you to think about, actually, you can start answering and I'll see the comments. And then when we come back out of the break, we'll address this. What does it mean to pay it forward? Okay, so just think about that for a second. Don't rush your answer. I just want you to, when I ask people to journal, and that's what the first thing is, to start a journal on the 100 things to do for well-being bucket list, I want you to think about what it means to dig deep in your soul. So last night I asked them to talk about blessings, and we gave them 2 minutes to start writing down. I said, don't feverishly write as if you're in a class and you have to fill out your test and it'll be like pencils down. No, I want you to sit there with it. And then what I want you to do is every day sit out by a tree or sit out by the water, which is what I did. Find your happy place. That's my happy place, anything around water. And then that allows you to get deep into the clarity of the mind and the soul and start thinking about these questions that I give to you. Okay, so I want you, as I take this break, I'll be back with you in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. If you have some coffee or tea or water, if you don't, go ahead and grab that. And then start writing down just the definition of paying it forward. Then we're going to take it from there and we're going to have little legs and branches off of that. That's today's kind of workshop, little seminar, and tools to give it to you to make your life a happier place. Okay, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Paying it forward. Start to answer that question, the definition of paying it forward. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online envitahealthandwellness.com.
Carroll House is now the contemporary furniture design center.
We now have the largest selection of the latest ultra-modern furniture.
Sleek European designs, unique metals, bold lacquers, plush fabrics, and retro styles.
Modern furnishings with exclusive collections only at Carroll House.
Plus free financing, free delivery and setup, and free in-home design.
Visit the St. Louis Center for Contemporary Design inside our 3.5-acre showrooms at Carroll House.
Because you like nice things.
Warm weather, sand beaches, and boats galore. It's not Florida, it's a Lake of the Ozarks. Florida Direct Palm Trees brings tropical flair to your patios, docks, and yards. From a few feet all the way to 25 feet, there are palm trees for every property. Florida Direct also provides palm tree potting soil, palm fertilizer, large decorative pots, and a wide selection of locally grown tropical flowers and plants to add the perfect accent to your tropical paradise. Florida Direct Palm Trees, bringing paradise to your patio for 14 plus years.
You know, of course, it's great to get outside and enjoy the warm weather, but when it's time to relax indoors, be sure your home stays cool with equipment and service from my friends at Aldon. 24-hour emergency service available. At Aldon, it's their commitment to continue providing above and beyond HVAC service for all of their customers. They truly care about the air you breathe. Call them today at 314-567-5585 or on the web, aldon.com. That's al-don.com, 314-567-5585. All right, welcome back. Thank you so much. If you're just tuning in, it is 7:13. It's the Real Monica Adams podcast, and we are the mobile Monica version here in Kirkwood. When we went to the break, so if you're just tuning in, the topic is paying it forward, and we've got a lot to do. I'm going to break it up into kind of quarter segments. The first part of this is the definition of paying it forward. Now, that has become so cliche in our world. People think about, oh, I was in a fast food line and somebody was paying it forward and they bought my coffee, or I was in the line at one of the coffee shops. And again, I'm not going to give anybody a plug, so it's just wherever you go grab your coffee, and they ended up buying it for everybody in line. Fantastic. Is that what you think paying it forward is? I want you to go deeper than that. I want you to do the levels of what paying it forward means. And by the way, I have to thank my beautiful mother, Jacqueline, for giving us the topic of today. I got ready to go to bed last night, and I asked Jim and my mom, hey, what should I talk about tomorrow? Because I've got a lot of these great topics people have been giving. And Jim said, let's do something lighthearted as you go into the weekend. Everybody's going into the weekend, right? Put them in a great mood. Sometimes we have some really serious, very emotional, sometimes sad, very dark. May pull you out of the darkness, deep conversations. But on Friday, yeah, a little lighthearted. We go into the feel good Friday. So when I went into the break, I asked you to start thinking about what does it mean for the definition of paying it forward. And let's see, comments that came in. I'll be prepping my life this weekend for upcoming knee replacement on Wednesday. Good luck to you, Leona. Linda, helping those around you without expecting something in return. So Linda Eckert, great answer. Let's see, Kathy, I watched yesterday. I appreciated the message, hearing about how he was able to fulfill his mom's dream to go to Hawaii with you and your mom and aunt. I also thought it debunked the saying, you can't be friends with people from the opposite sex. Oh, you absolutely can. And I agree with that. There's a lot of people, you did hear him say that he had a crush when he first met me, which I thought was cute. I don't think I ever heard that, but you absolutely can. In fact, there's a lot of guys that I dated that I am good friends with now. Some people can't, though. Well, Kathy, that's a good point. Rose, answering the question of the topic of the day, serving others, putting others first, helping those who need it, or making people feel important and that they matter, one act of kindness at a time. Definitions that you're giving me of what you believe paying it forward means. Marilyn, many prayers your way. We'll drop by dinner. Okay, very good. To me, paying it forward means when others bless you in different ways, you find ways to do kind acts or contribute to someone else's life. It does not always have to be financial. See, I want you to go deeper into what paying it forward means, because a lot of the media just talks about some rich person going in, they have a $10, $15 lunch, and then they leave a $1,000 tip to that particular waiter or waitress. Okay, is that what paying it forward means? What does it mean, right? No wrong answer here. I would love for you all to see what the community believes paying it forward means. Good morning, Dan. It's a true act of kindness, Sandra says, whether it be with action or money, without expecting anything in return. If you're at, again, the big coffee house and the person pays in front of them, I despise when the person working asks if you want to pay for the person behind you. Yeah, because I'm so glad you said it, Sandra, because then you feel forced and then you feel embarrassed if you don't have the money to do so. Absolutely. It should never be asked. It should come from the heart, not someone asking you if you want to. Very good. Julie is contacting my friends and see how they are doing and see if I can do anything for them. See how different all these answers are? The reason I love that Thursday night class, the reason why I want to do ticketed seminars is because so many people have different views on life. And what should we do? Open our hearts and minds to listen and then get the aha moment of, oh yeah, let me write that down. That goes deeper than I even went. Some people kind of just brush the surface and they don't dig deep into their soul. I'm trying to get you to dig down deep. Showing grace even when it's hard because someone showed it to you at a time you didn't deserve it. Oh, Tracy, that is a really good one. For me, the mentorship Janice has shown me, I have found some women who are in certain situations I can mentor. There you go, right? So you feel the healing aspect of someone helping you over whatever time period, and then realizing I've had so much help and I see a lost soul over here. I'm going to take some of those tools that mentor taught me and start to sprinkle it in to help them so that their life becomes more fulfilled. Wonderful. Paying it forward. Try to take the gratitude and blessings I have and share. Share my time volunteering. Find positive ways to share finances and just try to show kindness everywhere. Try to make others feel a little gratitude and blessings in their lives. Leona, love it. If you're just tuning in, again, the topic is paying it forward. And what I want you to do is drop into the comments what you think paying it forward means. What is the definition of paying it forward? And then we're going to go legs with it. Today is Take Your Dog to Work Day. So I'm actually heading into the office today for a photo op with my boss's dog, Vinny, and to interview a potential new team member. Yay. I'm a huge pay it forward, many times anonymous. Yes. Miss Nancy from Le Champ de Fleurs paid it forward to me with another jar of the shea butter. I know, and she left her keys. Doing good things for others, expecting nothing in return, Dana. Yes. Not expecting any acknowledgement. Sharing the good, absolutely. And blessings that you've received in life to bless others. Dana, very good one. And then Billy, I love being a secret giver and helping others in need. It warms my soul, just being wholeheartedly nice and making someone smile. Who else? Keep giving it to me, right? We've got about 30 of you on. The Real Monica Adams team will be praying for you. Yes. And Marilyn, I'd love to take the dog to work. What I found is, I'm going to sit down here for a second, that the building where we have our office, evidently, they do not let animals in the building. I hate it. I could probably, well, I know I could bring the dogs here, but then I have to head off and, when we go by the office that they don't like. And that's unfortunate because next week I do have dogs on the schedule on Tuesday. As long as everything goes through, let me just kind of pay it forward for you to understand how you're going to be affected next week. So we're going to talk on Monday with Dr. Richard Lehman about artificial intelligence, which I have not touched on yet. And I know Sherry asked me a few weeks ago or even a month ago, and I said, I don't want to do it until we're in the studio and I can have a guest on and they can tell us how it's affecting them. I want to know how it's affecting you. He is going to be on and we'll be talking about how it's affecting the world. He's an incredible orthopedic surgeon. That's Monday, by the way. On Tuesday, Randy Grimm is going to be with us from Randy's Rescue Ranch. He's the one that also started Stray Rescue, and we're going to talk about PTSD Awareness Day. He's obviously, with everything that he's done, he's the man who talks to dogs. There's actually a book that was written about him back in the early 2000s. And I asked him, I said, with everything you've gone through, you have to have PTSD. And he said, well, he brought up a really good point. He goes, of course I do. But think about the dogs that you rescue and the PTSD so he gives them a voice. We're also working on getting a veteran and then an organization that teams up with those veterans to give service dogs to the veterans who are suffering with PTSD. So pretty powerful shows next Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so Dot, hi. Life as a day maker is about doing kind deeds for someone that are not expected. Buy a coffee, hold a door, buy flowers, call someone you haven't spoken to in a while, etc. Just make someone's day, right? It's the day maker that God winks. Rose, when I go to Aldi sometimes, I want to give them the quarter when I take their cart and they say, keep it, pay it forward. I do. Wish everyone would do that. In everything we do, not just friends, but perfect strangers. Yes. Did you say Stray Rescue will be in? So excited. Rose, Randy Grimm, who started Stray Rescue. Randy Grimm, who is one of the most incredible humans. And by the way, you do not want to miss an event that he has coming up. Glamping. How many of you have glamped? He has something coming up with a really cool woman that you'll be able to go to. So he asked me, he's like, can I promote that? I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. Let's talk about all that. Let's do it all the good feels. Great subject and a way of life for me and my kids. It just becomes a natural reaction in our behavior. We have been doing volunteer work for many years. It's good for your heart and soul. I completely embrace your subject today. Thank you, Dan. So for those of you that are just tuning in, or if you have to pop on and off, that's fine. Do me a favor though and let everybody know. Here's how you pay it forward. I want you to share the shows that we do every single day. Share the content. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell people in other states and other countries. I want this to have that ripple effect around the world, that I want people to know that this type of a platform exists. Not negativity, nothing fake, no drama. All of this is to help you. So before I give you my definition, I love to make a pamper basket with tea, coffee, inspirational mugs, candles, Jesus calling book, CD of relaxing meditation sounds, hand cream, etc. to someone going through a lot. Absolutely. So it is 7:22 and we jumped in pretty quick. If you are on with us from the beginning or if you're just popping in, today's topic is paying it forward and asking for the definition of what you think that means. So many of you had such incredible comments and your own definition. There is no right or wrong answer, by the way. And actually, if you give an answer and you all of a sudden feel compelled to say, I said this, but you know what? I want to give more. Yeah, giving 100% is what paying it forward means. No acknowledgement. You think about when you donate to a GoFundMe page or a crowdfunding or Indiegogo or whatever. You go to a big event and they are asking for donations. What you want to do is the greatest way of paying it forward is to understand that you don't need an atta-girl or atta-boy. You don't need to be, oh my gosh, did you see what they give? They gave $1,000 to that charity. And when someone puts their name down, a lot of times you're wanting you're getting something back as well, right? You're giving something to them, but a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I want people to know I gave this. I like to do it anonymously because no one never, ever will know who gave that $1,000, who gave the $500, who gave the $25. I don't care if it's just 10. It doesn't matter. Some people think that they have to do anonymous when the amount is higher. No, it's just a matter of you're giving and you don't need anything in return. It's just the feeling inside of you. I want you to awaken your senses a little bit more. The feeling you have deep inside of you of what you did that was great. right? So when you do pay it forward, if it's a financial thing, that could be a donation. That could be at a fast food place, at a coffee place, at a restaurant, wherever. You walk out, no one knows that you did it. If you stick around, it's that I need something back from it. To me, paying it forward is just the feel good mission of giving to the world, letting the world feel better, the ones that are down and out. And then suddenly they're like, you see them, in tears. I did it for a gentleman one time. He had no idea. I could just hear that he was struggling. He was trying to pull different aspects out of his wallet to try to pay for his groceries. Didn't realize he didn't have enough. I walked over to the courtesy counter, and I said, "Can I pay for this guy?" And just, they're like, "No, ma'am, you can't." And I said, "Yes, I can." He said, "Why can't I?" And she's like, "Well, okay." And she went and grabbed a manager, found out how much it was going to be. I said, "Don't have him put all that stuff back. That's embarrassing for him." Everybody behind's like doing the sighing and oh. And I said, just, you know, so the problem was she went over and said, "This woman wants to pay." I was like, "That's not the point. I just asked you to find out how much it was so I could just give you the money and get out and let him know that it's okay, that it's taken care of." And so, he came up and he's like, "I can't believe you did that. You're a complete stranger." And I said, "Well, that's all I ask you to do. When you're able, pay it forward, but it doesn't have to be a financial thing. Understand that everyone always thinks that it's money. It's not. It's just be kind. Hold out a hand. As someone said, hold the door open. Be more aware around you. Be more present. Focus more. And I'm not just talking about elderly. There are also, unfortunately, I don't know where it's come from, but there's women where, you hold the door and they're like, "I got it." Like, you don't need to do that. Kind of I don't know. I don't know where that comes from. For me, it's just a matter of respect when you're holding the door for someone. It has nothing to do with thinking that you can't do it. There's so many women that got into that over the years, and I was like, they're just being nice. It's a guy being a gentleman. They're not saying you can't hold your own door. It's called respect, people. It's called paying it forward, right? But be more aware with that. Even if you have to kick back with your foot to keep the door open. When I leave the gym, I don't care whether it's a teenager and they're so buried in their phone that they don't even say thank you. I wish that we had the respect of everybody saying thank you to each other. It's not going to always happen. Do you need it? No. Sometimes when I'm driving in the car and I, will tell somebody, come on over, and then they'll just go. It is kind of human nature to be like, "Hello, you're welcome," and do this. I started to realize I don't need it. They're in their own world. Maybe they'll learn. Maybe they'll start to realize that they need to slow down a little bit more and realize that I didn't have to do that. People don't have to let you over. It is called respect. It's all those things. That zipper effect, by the way, that we talk about when you're driving. It is the kindest thing of, "Oh, they let me in? Okay, don't speed up and tail somebody else." That's another whole level of paying it forward. They let you in, let somebody else in. It literally is called the zipper effect. That's paying it forward in life, by the way. See, all these things, there's so many levels of things you may not have thought about. I'm not just saying paying it forward, buying someone's coffee. There's so many levels of it. Let's read some more here. I love to see polite people that hold the doors. I always say thank you very much, right? See, that's just a level of giving back. Call a friend that you don't see often. Giving anonymously, no praise needed. Donated food to our church food pantry. One never knows when one will be in need of a helping hand. Barbara, 100%. I've talked about it before. You never know when you're on the other side of the roller coaster, that you're on top and then suddenly you drop to the bottom. I heard about Randy's glamping. Love that idea. Randy's my hero. Because of him, I have my Cora girl. I love that. Let's see. I love Stray Rescue. So dear to my heart. I'm so excited. I had a friend who had cancer. All she wanted was to vent, so I was her listener. She would just call and talk. I'd listen. I did this till she died. Now I have a friend with another serious disease. She gets scared and anxious. Yes. So she calls me anytime, night or day. I listen. Oh, that's a big part, right? Paying it forward is listening. Give her scripture and inspiration and prayer. I cry when we get off the phone. I wish I could do more, but she says it helps so much. Absolutely. People just want to be heard. The left hand shouldn't know what the right hand is doing, especially young adults. I try to teach my kids, right? So that's another whole aspect. Paying it forward, teaching your children the respect that hopefully you learned. That maybe, hi Kyle, maybe your parents taught you, or maybe you didn't have a great upbringing, and maybe it was the grandparents that did a better job of raising. Whatever it may be, those are all aspects of paying it forward. Okay, thank you for the definition. Now, if I was in person with you, this is where you'd grab your pen and paper and you'd start writing all those things that were aha moments of what you didn't initially answer. When you walk away from a seminar or a workshop, I want to make sure that you're filling up those pages of thoughts and tools that I would give you and that others would give. So understand that you never want to leave with blank pages, because then you're missing the point of the fact that everyone in life is trying to pay it forward to help you out of your darkness. See how I turned that? It's a community. We started a community of people who are wanting to help you, not just your teacher, not just your coach. Everyone that signs on here. And by the way, every time I see one of these shows we do, the typical is about 1,500 to 2,000. I saw one the other day was 25, 2,600, up to 3,000 people are watching and receiving the message, meaning that they're on live with us and then they watch it later, they share it, it's having a ripple effect. That is the definition of paying it forward. One of my events this weekend is a fundraiser for Mercy Heart Prints. My cousin and her husband lost their first child. They're paying it forward to the ones who helped them through a very hard year. Oh, another good point. Thank you, Tracy. So Colton's cause, Angie Kane, what a wonderful human being, and what she went through losing her son Colton, starting that Colton's cause. She reached out to me, said she wanted to help baby Freya. If you don't know who I'm talking about, we had Michael Bax and Aaron Locke on. They are the parents of Freya. We had them on a week and a half ago. And I think we've raised about $3,500 for them. Well, I connected Angie and Michael and Aaron, and she said, it breaks my heart what they're going through, but I understand. I mean, here's a woman who truly understands, has been in their shoes. And she's like, I want to give. So the two of them talked the other day, and I'm super, super excited. When she gives me the okay, I will tell you what they're able to do together. There's also a fundraiser coming up, by the way, that I was asked if I would MC. And remember when I had Michael and Aaron in my chair, this is another form of paying it forward. They told me, I should say, that they're having a fundraiser for baby Freya. And they said, we were looking for someone that we were going to do a trivia fundraiser. We're going to use the person who does the trivia that I guess that may be at this particular place. And she said, but somebody had recommended that there's somebody kind of, taking it through the night as an MC. And she asked, I guess they were saying, who do you think would be so deeply involved and interested in doing something like that has the passion for the cause? And she said, right away, I thought of you, and asked if I would do it. So write this down, by the way, August 27th, from 3 to 6 p.m. at Shamrocks in St. Peters. It is a trivia fundraiser for Aaron, Michael, and Freya. And of course, to pay it forward, my answer is yes. I will absolutely be there. Why am I telling you? I don't want credit for it. It's only because I want you to be there. I would like for so many of you to put it on your calendar, start telling your family and friends to be there. August 27th, Shamrocks in St. Peters from 3 to 6 p.m. for baby Freya. Let's raise some big money because, the amount that they need, I think it was $150,000. We got excited that we raised $3,500 or $4,000 or whatever we're at right now, so that it actually started up again because it had been a couple weeks since people had donated. Well, it's great. We got to keep it going though. And it's these ideas of whatever we can do for them. So it is 7:32. Let's see. What else do you have? I think if you've answered it all, wonderful. Now we're going to go into the legs of paying it forward. Okay. There's about 25 of you on right now. Start telling people, if you want to call, text, whatever, tell them that we're on talking about paying it forward. If there's a really cool story of someone that did that to you, whatever it looks like, I want to share it because I want people to say, oh yeah, I guess that's paying it forward too. So now we've had the definition. Now tell me how you have benefited from a paying it forward. Okay, but don't think of a financial aspect. If you want to say financial, that's fine. You tell me how someone has paid it forward to you. The next part of that will be, how have you paid it forward? Because now if you haven't, I want you to think out of your box, get out of that zone that you're so used to being comfortable in, and I want you to do it today. I am challenging each and every one of you today, not tomorrow, not Sunday, not next week, today. Think of something that is an act of kindness that you can pay it forward. We want you to start spreading the kindness to the world. Everything about what our mission is, right? We want you to have the feeling of positivity and kindness and peace, as you're seeing right here on the bottom of the screen, and love around the world. How do we do that? You please share, like, follow this live stream on Facebook and YouTube. If someone's not on Facebook, you tell them, holy cow, we're changing the world together. But I want to know what's been done for you first. Answer that. The 26 of you that are on, do me a favor, type it in. Think about whether it just recently happened, or if it's, maybe you dig deep into your soul and realize it happened a long time ago. What was done for you that just had that feel good in your soul, right? Gave you chills. Maybe it brought you to tears. I'll share last night. I was on my Thursday night class, which again is open to the public on Zoom. And then eventually I'm thinking of maybe once a month doing those in person, once a quarter, doing more of a seminar workshop. A lot of, again, I'm not done. There's a lot of things that we want to do. In fact, I had an incredible meeting with this gentleman named Doug and the company he owns. And he's like, Monica, we've got to take you higher. What that man wants me to do is it made me cry, because what I realized is he himself is wanting to pay it forward by the connections he has. He doesn't have to do that for me. So that was my recent acceptance of someone saying, let me take you there. I know you want to change the world. You're not asking for much in life. All you want to do is pay it forward. And I said, I do, because my life was saved. I'm trying to pay it forward to the gentleman above, that being God, our Father. My belief of that. Again, I'm not pushing a religion on you, but I'm trying to pay it forward every single day to say, what do you want me to do in life? How do you want me to affect people? Well, I just want to first and foremost be kind, right? And so I want to smile. I want to make you happy. I want to be silly and goofy and come on Dance Party Friday. Whatever I have to do to put you in a better mood. Last night, I paid it forward to the women that were on my class. And I said, there's only a few. I've thought about, do I continue to run this class if people aren't going to show up? We used to have 15. Now we've got 4 of you. And when we were done with the night, all 4 of them had teared up. They kept wiping their eyes, and I said, is there something in your eye, or are you actually crying? And they said, no, we're crying. And then one of them just lost it. I don't even know where the tears all came from. We'll discuss it in her private coaching on Sunday. But I sat there. I felt very fulfilled. I got done and thought, all right, God, I hear you. You don't want me to stop that class. Even though I looked at it and thought, it's a lot. I mean, it really is. There's a lot of prep work that goes into me doing these shows, a lot of prep work that goes into those nights, adding on more classes. But that's my way of paying it forward, that I want to affect lives. And so even if I looked at it and thought there's only 3 or 4 people signing on, maybe it's because of the summer. Do I continue it? They all answered last night, loud and clear. This is why we will show up. Because look at these tears. Look at these emotions. Look how you made us dig deep into our soul. Okay, then I'll continue it. That was me getting a little kick from above to say, it doesn't matter whether it's 1 or 2, Monica, right? Even if one person, their whole life changes by something you're saying, the tools you give them, well, then it's working. That's the beginning of a ripple effect. Good morning, Julie. Monica, if you're ever near Swansea, Illinois, look me up. Okay. When my husband was in his last months of life, my brother and sister-in-law came from Minnesota and made soups for the freezer and cleaned my windows. My friend here had her cleaning company come and clean my house a couple of times to take it off my plate. Sandra, absolutely. That's the one thing that I want you to think about. If someone is in hospice, someone then loses a loved one, their whole world gets turned upside down. That is truly when you see the community come out. It's also when you really know who your friends and family are, because they will do anything for you and they're not asking for anything in return. Hopefully in return, when they are in the same circumstances, the way you pay it forward is that you do the same thing. That is a number one thing, Sandra, that no one is wanting to think about cleaning their house. And when they have, normally someone will pick that person's house after the funeral and they say, come on back, unless you go to some kind of an event space or banquet space. that they say come back to the house, and of course that person's in their mind thinking, oh my gosh, my house isn't clean. So yeah, offer up to clean their home, have a cleaning service, offer up to bring, normally it's like a lot of salads and casseroles and things that can be brought for the day of and then packaged up for that person so that they can put it in the freezer, that they have food, that they certainly, that's not on the top of their mind. And in fact, you want them to have nourishment, right? You want them to have nutrition. So that is very important to do, because they're not going to want to do it after losing someone. Wonderful comment to make, Sandra. We pay it forward would be to someday take Monica out for a nice lunch. Okay, Kyle. With upcoming surgery, I have had friends and neighbors come out of the woodwork. They shared their experience, shared items they used, been helpful, encouraging, and lifting me up. These were neighbors I really didn't know, and now they're friends. See what happens? Right. You never know what kind of connection you're going to have. They were giving of themselves. They showed a beauty in themselves that I didn't know about them. And now you have new friends. See what happens? Good morning, Laura. Love that idea. Great to take you higher. Reminds me of Gary Baker taking Dr. Tom Hill and spreading it higher. Don't know who they are. Big pay it forward friends. So disappointed I have not been on Thursday nights again. Each week I have the intention, but my solo life gets in the way. Marilyn, all I'm going to say is when someone wants something bad enough, they make it happen. So the women who were showing up last night, one of them said, I don't know if I'm going to make it. This is down to the wire. And then all of a sudden she said, nope, I'm there. I'm there. It might be coming in hot. Might be a couple minutes late. She wasn't, by the way. So if you want something, you want to lose weight, you're going to make it happen. You want to be happier, you're going to make it happen. You don't want to be so depressed, you want to be more financially stable. I don't care. My list can go on and on and on. I'm telling you right now, whatever you want in life, do you really want it? Or are you just going through the motions and just saying it? Does someone else need to help give you the little kickstart, a little kick in the butt to say, stop talking about it and doing it? Do it. Stop talking about it and do it. If you want to be a better version of yourself, then start writing down in what I told you had to do today, the 100 things to do for wellness. Again, number 1 says to start a journal. So start journaling about what you want. You want to show up on Thursday nights? You want to come into the boxing class? You want to work out with me on Saturday mornings? You want me to do private life coaching with you? You want me to style you so that you feel more beautiful on the outside? What are the levels of what I can do for you? I'm here for you. I have devoted my life to each and every one of you and to all the people that I'm going to affect moving forward. And we believe we're going to fill stadiums. We're going to start with about 300 at a location that we are coming up with, and most likely in the fall, a 3-day seminar. That's what we're discussing. So start putting it on the calendar. It's going to be in October. I'll tell you when, but he and I are working on it. This is a gentleman who was put into my life, and he is paying it forward by helping me achieve my dreams. Do that for someone else. Start asking them, by the way. They're your family and friends. Start asking people, get out of your comfort zone and get out of your own way of only thinking of yourself. I want you to take care of yourself. There's a difference here. I want you to make sure that you are the most important person in the equation of your life by making sure that you journal, that you eat properly, that you hydrate yourself, that you keep yourself in a good mindset and heart set. But then I want you to get out of your own way and look at the others that are around you that you chose to be in your life and help them achieve their goals. As a gift for my retirement, one friend donated to the Mr. Rogers Institute in my name. Mr. Rogers is my hero. Talk about kindness. Another family donated to the Missouri State Parks in my name. I definitely teared up. Kathy, my mom does that, by the way, not the parks. My mom, when someone's birthday is coming around or whatever it may be, she will do an entire year of masses in their honor, which I love. So that's another way of paying it forward. People who deserve love the least deserve it the most. Lots of crabby, bad mood people. We can change them with kindness. Those are the people I tell you to share this podcast with. I love your podcast. Few of my friends listen, leaving for a girls' weekend, telling them to come on too. We need Monica. I was in such a bad spot in February. Someone hooked me up to your podcast. I've not missed a day since March 1st. I know, Carrie, and I love Janice for that. Your topics, your readings, etc. help me so much. I work in a fast food drive-thru. I look for sad faces and grumpy people. I give them a compliment or say a positive word. A lady told me she had to put her cat to sleep, and I sang a silly song to her. I made her day. I didn't even know. A compliment takes 5 seconds. It sometimes even takes a second. You're beautiful. That didn't even take a second. That color looks good on you, right? What a beautiful smile you have. You look like you're glowing. It can go on and on and on. Get out of your way and get into somebody else's heart. I recently collected clothes to a former coworker's friends who lost things in a fire. Yeah, we did that. I gave actually I have a friend, I'm glad you said that, about 10 years ago. See, this is why I'm saying that we're doing this together, because it makes you think about other things that have been done for you or that you did, and you go, oh, hey, you can do this. Yes, I had a friend, actually, a friend of a friend I got introduced to. We don't go out and hang together, but I would consider her a friend. Good person, really, right? So you don't have to be around someone constantly. And I don't think she and her husband have, even done really much with us, but I would still say that she's a friend. They lost everything in a fire. And I said, what can I do for you? And she's like, oh no, we'll be okay, whatever. And I said, no, I've got things that I was going to sell. Never mind. What do you need? You need a couch. You need this table set. I gave her so much stuff that I was going to sell on Marketplace. Like, I don't know if this was 8, 10 years ago. And she's like, are you serious? And I said, we have a bunch of clothes I was going to sell. Yes. And then if you don't need things anymore, then pay it forward to someone else that needs it. Give it to an organization that needs it. Someone who is down on their luck. Do that. So she cried. She couldn't believe it. She's like, you know what a humbling feeling that is? And I said, of course. When we talk about being on top of the world, and then all of a sudden you're not expecting to drop. The two of them were financially stable, doing really, really well, actually. And then they lost it all. And they lost the house. They lost all these memories. Because again, the tangible aspect of things. Is it materialistic, or is it actually picking up a photo that means the world to you, and that's what you lost? Those are memories you can't get back. That's why people always try to say, put it in the cloud or have it digital or whatever. Hopefully those things last. We don't know. It's still eerie to me that things are just out there. I think other people have access to it. That's all strange technology things, but at least it's a backup in case you do lose things in a fire, just like that. Yeppers, I so know that. Okay. Good morning, lovely friend of mine. Hi, Jamie. Jamie, Jamie's been through some rough times with his brain tumor. We talked about that on, I think, a week ago, of what he's been through. He's been on one of my Thursday night classes, and I'm sure he could share some stories of how people paid it forward for him during that rough time and how humbling that is. Here he is, this, personal trainer, big muscular guy, and then very humble when he went through what he went through, being on top of the world and then crashing down, finding about an illness. We never know when suddenly something's going to happen. So think about those things, and knowing that you want someone to pay it forward to you to help you out when you need it most. And that's the whole thing about slowing down a little bit more, realizing that there's a world that's moving so fast and people are missing the importance of kindness. We think of different cities. It's very easy to think of New York and how busy New York is. I found the same thing though when I went to San Francisco. It was just boom, 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 go, go, go. Nobody looking each other in the eye, nobody smiling at each other. And I thought, oh, I can't wait to get back to the Midwest where it is a little slower and be appreciative and thankful for what we have. We always want something else. Never happy with what you currently have in life. Why is that? Count your blessings. We did it last night, by the way. And so I'm going to add to this so that you understand the blessings that you have, the blessings that have been bestowed upon you, and how you can take those blessings and maybe take a portion of that to help pay it forward to someone that needs that. So in the next couple of minutes, and I'll just do a little reading here for you while you do it. I did this last night with my class, and I said, I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and I want you to write really big. So if you're at home and you have an opportunity to do this, write really big in bold letters on your journal, count my blessings. Go ahead and write that for me. Or if you are getting ready to drive to work, don't do it. Come back to this later. Or maybe on your lunch break, fill your time on your lunch break. Or later this evening, if you caught a bit of the show and you have to come back to it. This is part of the seminar workshop, part of the class of my podcast. I want you to write on your paper, and if you were able to show me, I would say, okay, great, you're ready to go. Count your blessings is what you're writing. Now, for 2 minutes, I'm going to start the timer, and I want you to write what your blessings are. So remember when we did the whole, what do you feel great about yourself? Like, what are some kind words you can say about yourself? We've done that. And then I said, what would other people say about you? And it was always interesting how quickly you could fill that in, but not fill it in when you're talking about yourself. So what I want you to do now, and this is an opportunity to think out of the box. I'm not asking you to feverishly write fast. I'm going to start the 2-minute timer, and I just want to see what flows out of you. I want you to write, count your blessings, and I want you to start filling it in. Okay, here's your 2 minutes. We already started. Well, I want to see what you see in your blessings. And guess what? You're going to take some of those blessings and you're going to use them to, quote unquote, pay it forward. Okay? Because it's really just a matter of slowing down and having more awareness. And so while you're doing that, and then we'll read some of the things that you think are blessings, and then I'll say, hey, do you realize you could take one of those and help somebody that doesn't have that blessing? When the 2 minutes is up, we'll read some of the comments that you have, and then right now I'm going to read about awareness, because that's what I said. You have to be a little bit more aware in life. So this is from the Blueprint for Value, 52 Habits to Discover and Strengthen Your Personal Worth. So while you're writing, just listen. Awareness. How do the people in your life affect you? Are your current surroundings beating you down? Do you call toxic people friends? How many times have I said to get rid of the toxicity? Do you allow negative circumstances to keep you from living out your values and your dreams? Are you allowing factors outside of your control to shape your sense of personal worth, or as I say, value? You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can always choose how you respond. How proactive are you? Not reactive, proactive. Stop, observe, take inventory. What are you doing right now for me? You are writing down your blessings. Seek an outside perspective to make sure you didn't miss anything. Don't be blind to your environment. Allow it to sweep you downstream and drain your personal worth. Surround yourself with people that love and inspire you. If they aren't encouraging you, make changes whenever possible. And if you can't make a change, remember that you are in control of how you respond. So your takeaway, your circumstances and other people don't define you. What factors outside of your control are impacting how you see yourself? That is exactly what I want you to be thinking about. Okay, boom, there we go. 2 minutes. How quickly we were able to put that in there, give you a little inspiration while you were doing that. Okay, it's not a matter of time's up. And if you want to keep writing, I love that, because then that means I've opened your heart and soul and I've done my job today. That I've gotten you to understand that this is what you have to do on a regular basis. Take the 2 minutes, turn it into 5 or 10. Maybe you have a half-hour lunch. Take 20 minutes to mindfully, and I do stress mindfully eat, and then take another 10 minutes to sit down and write down blessings, kindness, kind words to yourself. Maybe you have an hour lunch, 45 minutes of those you spend eating mindfully, drinking some water, thinking that, oh, wow, I'm doing what I need to do for nourishment and nutrition, and I've got that. Right? I'm following along what Monica's telling me I need to do. That's how my life becomes better. But then you take some time to journal, because again, one of the things that we want you to do on a regular basis is to write and journal and free your mind from the chains that have been binding you and holding you back. Okay? So what did you write, everybody? If we were in front of each other, it'd be so much better. And that's truly what we're talking about. A 3-day seminar that I'm going to put on, and I'm going to choose people that I want to be speakers with me. We're going to hold it here in town. Your lunches are going to be taken care of. You're going to be with me. We're going to change lives together. So that's going to be coming up, and I'll let you know as we put it all together. But that's the vision, and then it will be taking it around the world. And I'm shaking, because it's exactly what I've wanted, and I have someone who is paying it forward and believing in me that says, let's do it. He also said, and I quote, and this is kind of the kick in the butt, Monica, you need to write a book. And I said, well, yeah, it's been out there for the last 12, 15 years. There's parts of it that have been written. And he said, write the book, Monica. And I said, I hear you. And my friend Todd was in town. Hey, Monica, you should write a book. And I'm like, well, I have been. He's like, oh, I had no idea. And I mean, if that's not a kick in the butt, it starts with whispers, and then you get a little tap on the shoulder, and then you get smacked in the face, and then you get punched in the gut. Okay, I hear the message. Finish the book, Monica. Keep saying that. Finish the book. And he's like, that's just a whole other part of that seminar. Yeah, I get it. So he paid it forward. He is now an extra blessing in my life. I could go on and on with the blessings that I have, but I want to hear from you. So I gave you 2 minutes to write down for me. Before we wrap up today, give me the list that you came up with, because I want you to see how some of the blessings that you have are things that other people don't have in their life. And these are the simplest acts that you can use to pay it forward. So when we talk about the definition of paying it forward at the very beginning, it was what? Be kind to another human being, hold a door open for someone, give them a compliment, If it's a financial thing, buying a meal for someone that can't afford it. We did that for an elderly couple when we went to lunch a handful of months ago and we left. Did we step over there and say, hey, yeah, we're the ones that bought the meal for you? No, because you don't need that. Do you need the atta girl, atta boy? If you do, then you're missing the point of what paying it forward means. It simply means when you needed it the most, and you probably were brought to tears because someone saw that you needed whatever the act was, that it brought you to tears and it touched your heart and soul. And then you realized what that did and how it made you feel. And when you get the opportunity, then you did just that. I mean, I love the shows that are done on it. So if you have an opportunity and you wrote things down for me, pass it along to the community that's watching right now, or maybe that's watching later, because then they can find out, oh gosh, I didn't even think about that. I love the community that came out and gave these opportunities and these ideas that I could use my blessings to pay it forward. Barbara says, finding happiness again, improving my health through diet and exercise. Thank you, Monica, for the driving force behind this. And of course, my family and friends. So there you go. So if there's others around you that are barely getting out of bed, they're staying on the couch, and you were a person that maybe were in a bad place and they saw that in you and they were like, yeah, I'm okay with just sitting on the couch. I'm okay with being negative. I'm okay with being drama filled. And then suddenly you aren't anymore. And they see that. They're scared to change. They're insecure. They haven't made the decision yet to change their life. But you suddenly are. Guess what? Your blessings that you're finding within yourself, they're going to see it. Because as I've mentioned in the past, you're always being watched by everyone, every age, every culture, every religion, every sex. It doesn't matter. These are the reasons why we have to get out of our minds of thinking our way or no way. Nope, it's just watching, watching, watching. And oh my gosh, look at this person over here. They look really happy. But they were so negative. They were always drama filled and they were heavier and they didn't eat well. Now they're changing their life. And then they start asking you, well, don't keep it to yourself. Give them some of the tools of happiness. Tell them about this show, by the way. Tell your enemies. Tell the people that you think are crabby pants. Tell them and pay it forward. That's a good one, Barbara. Tracy, job promotion. That's her blessing. Weight loss. Healthy mind. Jesus. Great family and friends. My needs are met. Off work today. Yeah, that's a blessing as well. So what could she pay it forward? Maybe she can open someone's mind to more faith. And there's some people out there that are like, I don't believe. That's okay. Don't force it on them. That's the main thing. When we say pay it forward, it's not pushing your beliefs on someone. It's just sprinkle it out there. That's all I do every morning with you. I'm just sprinkling it out there. And if you're losing weight, Tracy, maybe someone's going to say, gosh, what are you doing? Don't keep it to yourself. Give them the secret ingredients. Rose, blessings. I know God. I turn strangers into friends, my family, my friends who are always there for me, my peace of mind, my home. Hot showers for my RA, my love for people inside. Thanks, Mom, for giving that to me. Yeah, thank those who instilled it in you. Thanks, Monica, for reminding me of that blessing. You're welcome. See, why do we journal? Because we need to realize what our blessings are. Sometimes we're too caught up in life that we don't realize, gosh, here I was thinking that I had so much was so bad off. And then when you start to sit down and we just did it for a couple of minutes and start writing down your blessings, you start realizing you're better off than you thought you were. But you just have to sit with your thoughts. Someone has to teach you. You have to listen to a good motivational speaker. You have to go listen to some really motivational podcasts. You have to surround yourself with good, kind-hearted people. You just got to get out of your way sometimes. Understand that. You're too caught up in life of how fast it's moving. Or you're robotic and you're going through the motions of your job, or you hate your job. I asked that at the retreat. How many of you are happy with what you do? I can't tell you how many said, nope. And I said, well, for your own sanity and your health, you might want to look for something new. Maybe you don't just jump ship, because that's a dangerous thing to do when you're taking care of other people, you got a family, and that's going to scare you. Some people like to be scared and they just like to leap. You got to make that decision. I can't do that for you. I made my decision, but I was very skillful and mindful and did all my homework that I needed to do. So there was irony behind the timing of it all, according to most people. And no, It wasn't irony. It was, oh, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. Okay, let's start making plans for this. Right? So it was very skillful, very organized. Good morning, Mark. So I hope that this helped you today. Understand that if you don't feel like you're in the place that you want to be, start looking around you, being more mindful, being more aware, focus more on life, slow it down a little bit. I'm gonna end with this. I asked the other day about decluttering. I asked if your house was in order, and I meant two aspects of your house: the house you walk into, the wood, the brick that's over your head that you get a chance to walk into, the blessing alone of having four walls and having a roof over your head. That is the beginning of your blessing. That you actually have that. When there are people in the streets that are homeless, they have to go into a homeless camp. Right? There's a lot of peddling out there, though, and we always wish we could trust what they're asking for. We've gotten into a world where we just don't feel like we can trust anymore because there's a lot of fake people out there. But there's some people who really do need it, that are very down and out. Go get out of your way. Go donate your time. Go volunteer, by the way. It is a wonderfully beautiful thing of giving back to someone and not expecting anything in return. There's no way that you will go and volunteer and not feel absolutely incredible. Just understand your blessings, what you did today, what you filled in. You did it for 2 minutes. Take a little bit more time and fill the paper more. Okay? Just understand that we all have blessings. Sometimes we just have to look a little harder for them. So now you know the definition of paying it forward. Go out and do a good deed today. Have an incredible weekend. We'll continue to chip away at 100 things to do for well-being. I'll be back in the studio on Monday again, talking about artificial intelligence in the medical field and how it's affecting you. We'll talk about PTSD awareness on Tuesday from an animal standpoint, from a veteran standpoint. We'll talk about what you've been through. Maybe, if you've got some people who are police officers or firefighters, really actually people who were on the front lines during the pandemic in the medical field. I might even ask Dr. Lehman about, what he saw in, the surgeries and things that he did, or the ones that were pulled back, when he's on with us on Monday, just to kind of set the stage for what Tuesday is. And by the way, if you have topics, again, don't forget, you can email me, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. I'll put that back up for you one more time before we say goodbye. If you would like to become a sponsor of the podcast, reach out to me. And then if you have questions or comments, topics, Anne just gave me one today about being able to accept a compliment. That's a really good one. My 45 years I have with my sweet John, my faith, my influencers like you, your retreat, my day one to my new life, and I'm on track, and I've already lost 12 pounds. Oh my gosh, Marilyn, congratulations. That's beautiful. Blessed with my health, my roof over my head. What did I just say? I have a job. I'm still looking to change jobs. I'm paying it forward by assisting my 77-year-old friend, 77-year young friend, I like that, who fell and broke his wrist, becoming his caregiver to keep him out of a nursing home. Way to go, Julie. Cast was removed this week and now on to physical therapy. He's on the mend and very thankful. He realized this after his accident. Way to go. Good morning, Chrissy. Thank you. Great message. And I will re-watch later to journal. Love you. Okay, last one before we got to go. I lost my oldest child. I find myself reaching out to other bereaved parents just to let them know they aren't alone. Way to go, Billy. People think time heals all wounds, but it doesn't. People think the grieving process should only last X amount of time, and that's not the case. Nope, everybody's got to do it on their own. When you talk to someone that has walked your path, it's easier to understand what's being said. I always hated the saying that life goes on, but the truth of the matter is it does, but life goes on differently, and that's what people need to realize. Life does go on. The people that we've lost before us do want us to thrive. They don't want you to stay still, be sedentary. They have your best interest at heart from up above. Yes, but it's hard when we don't have them. I love you all so, so much. What you've done for me, paying it forward to be here for me for the last few months, I will continue to show up for you. We've got a lot of amazing things to do together as a community. So keep paying it forward. Please like and share and comment. Watch from Facebook, from Instagram, from the audio podcast platforms. Watch those old shows. Use them as a resource. Understand that people who weren't able to see the last 3 months, now they can, but you just tell them, it's okay, you're not on Facebook. Monica's on YouTube. Make sure that they follow the YouTube page at TheRealMonicaAdams. And then here's the thing. As I wrap up the show, I'm going to give you my website. Visit the website so that you're always keeping up to date on what the latest things are that we're doing, where you can see us, and how you can contact me and ask for upcoming topics. Find out when somebody asked me the other day, will you have another retreat? And I said, sure. We just don't have a date on it yet. We'll have to regroup and think about things that we want to do differently, maybe add on to the stuff that we just had. But yes, more retreats, more seminars, more workshops, more in person, so I can feel your energy and I can affect your life. That's what I'm here for. I love you all. Thanks for watching the Real Monica Adams podcast.